my constituents all, it is really gratifying to be back here at the Mary Charles Hospital, some 23 months to the day since my government officially unveiled a brand new Mary Charles Hospital for all the people in the Keys to Sadler's Medical District. In the 23 months since the reopening of this brand new hospital, the Team Unity government has shown that it is serious about delivering primary health care services. In these 23 months since we last held the ceremony here at Mary Charles Hospital, we have opened more doors to accessible, community-based and comprehensive health care. Notably, it was the Team Unity government that opened the first oncology, cancer care and treatment unit at the Josephine Farnes General Hospital on December 6, 2016. Give the government a round of applause. It was your Team Unity government that on the 5th of December named and opened the Mental Health Day Treatment Center, which is now called the Dr. Arthur W. Lake Mental Health Day Treatment Center. We in government heard the cries of those suffering from cancers, and we hear the cries too of the families of those affected. We heard how treatment was a bother and a matter of concern, and we have responded by establishing the first cancer care and treatment center in St. Kitts. And we are way ahead of many other countries in that regard. Last December and World AIDS Day, the World Health Organization validated St. Kitts and Nevis as having eliminated mother-to-child transmission of HIV and syphilis. We are among the first in the English-speaking Caribbean to have received that validation, and we intend to maintain that status. Another round of applause for this, your administration. Team Unity. Further, this past February, the government officially launched the National Health Insurance Commission, setting the stage for cradle-to-grave insurance coverage, regardless of age, employment, income, or pre-existing conditions. Put another way, the government understands that among many of us today, if we were to fall seriously sick, no money in the bank to help take us through. And therefore, we have come up with a program called the National Health Insurance, which will cover everyone. And when this comes on stream, all of us will be better for the work of your Team Unity government. And you must marvel at the fact that 20 years before Team Unity came, it never happened. And in less than 3 years under Team Unity, it has happened. Today we come back to Mary Charles Hospital, further cementing our commitment and delivering on our promise to provide all of you with state-of-the-art health care that is on par with the other medical districts. It is a grave injustice, in my view, that was perpetuated from Dr. Asim Martin to Herbert to Marcella Liebert in their staunch apathy to improving the health care offered by the Mary Charles Hospital. Vera Hope is here, Vera Samuel. And at this hospital, when we came in, it was allowed to run down to the grounds. You had to patch up and put pattern and everything if the slightest of a rain come. In fact, I think it was very early in our tenure that the roof at Mary Charles collapsed for want of care and attention. That is the bad legacy that we inherited. And we have had to grapple with these things, correcting the ills of the past while we are bringing new things like cancer care and treatment, like mental health care to the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. This is in fact the best government that we have had in this country for a very, very long time. So today we come again, delivering for you. The things that are occupying us are things that matter for you. Because I appreciate that when you take sick, you can't, like Nigel Carty, get hundreds of thousands of resources facilitated to the government to go to the Miami Baptist Health Care. You can't get that luxury. He was privileged. When the former Prime Minister took sick, he went to New York Hospital on a chartered flight out of St. Kitts. You can't do that. That is why I said to the Honorable Jean Hamilton that we will put the people of St. Kitts and Nevis first, bring the national health care insurance in. It is about people. People matter most to my administration. And in particular, those of us who know what hard life is about. Those of us who have had to eat mangoes for lunch like I did. Those of us who have had to go up and down the street without shoe. Those of us who when school said we were going to Nevis and we get home and we said we need a shoe to go to Nevis, grandmother said, win your mind after it, your mother didn't have no money. And when grandmother in those days passed the law, even mother can't change grandmother law. That is why and what we bring to government. A care for the people. A passion to serve the people. And we are saying to you, stay focused with this government. You know from whence we came. And we came from a bad place. And we will not go back to that bad place again. So I'm happy that we are here. And look what we are doing. Correcting the ills of the past. Because could you help me to explain to the country how come with a former prime minister who was a medical doctor, with a minister of health who was a medical doctor, with Marcella Liebert who was not a doctor, and with Rupert Herbert who was not a doctor, how come through 20 years this hospital, which has a special significance to the people, that significance undergirded in the expressions of the Honorable Jean Hamilton, it was not just a hospital. It was to honor and commemorate the contribution of an exemplar from the community who had been a trailblazer in education, in community activism, and in the entry of women into politics too. That was what Mary Charles stood for. And I mean, if you ain't want the hospital, you must want to honor good service of the people, ordinary people that have come from among us. And in the memory of Mary Charles, they should have at least kept the hospital flag flying high. They did nothing. The dental care was allowed to go to the dogs. They don't care about young people. and they don't care about your children. For the dental care facility here was primarily being used by the young children from Sadler's and Tabernacle and Mansion and Molyneux all the way up, I think, to Kayard. And how could the former administration allow that to go to the dogs? Ponder upon it. Ponder upon it. And how could they, in particular that there was a government headed by a medical doctor, a successful medical doctor for the record, who had established his offices in Bastair, in Old Road, in Sadler's, all around the country. So he had appreciation for what it was. And he took the hospital from a situation where it had an ambulance to so many years he had none. No matter how much there was an outcry, no matter how many people died a death that perhaps could have been avoided, the government never once said we made an error and we will correct it and bring back the ambulance to Mary Charles. What they have failed to do, Team Unity is doing, because we care for the people of the country. That is the difference. I am a doctor too, a caring doctor too, not a medical doctor, but a politician doctor. And my job is to serve, and I shall serve the people very well.
The King.
I listened, and I heard our new permanent secretary in health, Mrs. Stapleton Harris. God bless her. From Nevis, just like my father, and came to St. Kitts and fell in love with Vernon, who is here. Vernon is a lucky guy. And she is now helping us with the administration of the health sector. But she pointed out in her remarks the importance of ambulance services in the provision of 24/7 response in the event of emergency and trauma. I heard too my good friend Gail Cranston at the head table make a similar reflection on how the ambulance, and I am paraphrasing, can make a difference between life and death. That is it, you know. And in many cases of illness, the survivability rate is dependent in large measure on how quickly you get to a good doctor. I heard Ms. Cranston said that the time now to get from accident to hospital care or emergency care has been slashed from 20 minutes to 5 minutes. Look at that. From 20 minutes to 5 minutes. 15 minutes more for a good doctor to attend to you can make the difference between life and death. You see how important what we are doing here for you today? Give your government a round of applause.
Unity.
Put in practical terms, the expectant mom who awakens at 3 o'clock in the morning, gripped by contractions that signal an impending birth, your ambulance service is just around the corner. And when we opened this brand new hospital, we took special care to provide a section that can do maternity operations right here in this facility. Now, we will not encourage anybody to get wild and, we were making provisions for what a hospital really should have. and we have done that for you. For the elderly dad whose adult son finds him in bed incapacitated by stroke, it must be comforting today to know your ambulance service is just around the corner thanks to the Team Unity government. For the epileptic child, the heart attack patient, the vehicular accident victim, and countless other persons in need of speedy medical care in this district, your ambulance service just around the corner, thanks to your Team Unity government. Your Team Unity government has brought this EMT ambulance service to fruition, knowing that a quicker ambulance response time is a life and death matter, and knowing that it can further improve upon your federation's relatively high life expectancy rate, which I am advised now stands at 76 years. This EMT ambulance service at Mary Charles Hospital is expected to help the Ministry of Health fulfill a number of its stated strategic objectives, such as its goal of reducing the infant mortality rate. Our infant mortality rate, I am advised, stands at 17 per 1,000 live births, and our goal is to reduce it to 12 per 1,000 live births. In other words, of every 1,000 babies, 17 of them would die. I'm getting it, CMO? I am getting it, she says. She is the one who have to mark me on matters of medicine. And we want to reduce that. In other words, it's about saving and improving life. For life is a special gift from God. And we want to preserve everybody so that they can make a contribution. The pregnant woman who wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning expecting or facing an unexpected delivery 2 months early has as much brighter outlook for her and her baby now, because the ambulance is stationed right here in our district 24/7. 24 hours, 7 days a week. Gata, you can't ask for better. With such an important mandate of protecting and prolonging life, the Ministry of Health is ensuring that its EMT personnel receives relevant and updated and going in-house training, as well as other continuing educational opportunities. Let me make the point that we value the work of all healthcare workers, and we are reviewing proposals to improve the lot of all in the healthcare, including the EMT workers, and of course our beloved nurses. Equally exciting is the fact that the dental unit is being reopened. And again, this is important. With fee exemption granted to the disabled. In other words, if you're disabled, you don't need to pay to access the dental care here. As well as persons over the age of 62, like Dyer, like John Lewis, you're nearly 62. So as soon as you get there, free. Free care for all persons over the age of 62. And so those who are in school also, from primary up to age 18, have free dental service here. You see how helpful that is? So you have your young child in primary school with a problem with their teeth, free service. Don't wait until it gets worse. And we will hope that Dr. Christmas will do some public education regarding the types of services that are available here. And I would invite my friend Nital, to get Dr. Christmas and his program so that people could be aware and be educated as to what is available to them, especially when these services are available free of cost, and they can make a difference in the quality of your life. This unit, that is the dental unit, is expected to fulfill the strategic objectives in relation to oral health care, such as reducing the local incidence, that is, of dental missing and filled teeth, from 50% to 30% among those 5 to 15 years old. Today, the Team Unity government sends a message that we want tooth loss to be eliminated in this generation, and you can certainly help. Let's do that for the next generation. Young people between 5 and 15 can have free health care here at Molyneux that can help them for the rest of their lifetime. And we, the parents and adults, many of us have sweet tooth, we call it. The sugar cake, the almond sugar cake, the coconut sugar cake, and everything sweet, sweet, sweet. We have to begin to reduce the consumption of sugar in our homes. Because sugary foods, I am advised, are one element that impact upon the decaying of teeth among young people. And of course, nothing beat a brushing. Brushing early, brushing late at night. But all these are things that Dr. Christmas is expected as part of the public outreach to get into the Joshua Obadiah School and Estridge Primary and the one at Tabernacle and Violet Petty at Lodge, and help our young people to appreciate what services that are available and encourage them to come. Because in our culture, we visit doctors and nurses only when there is a problem. We want us to do it differently. At periodic intervals, come to see your dentist. Let him ensure nothing is going bad and nothing has gone too far bad. That is how we are going to improve it. I want to say, in my view, we have a proud record in healthcare delivery. And sometimes the fake news get ahead of us. And sometimes some of us who are working so hard in healthcare know that we are rendering excellent services. We don't say nothing when the fake news is surrounding us. Somebody has to set the record clear. For our part, I want to make the point as I wrap up that the Team Unity government is a caring government. And I know that the election losers would want you to believe that we have not been doing anything to advance your health care. But you have the examples of what we are doing right here in Molyneux to confront them and to ask them why for 20 years they didn't do what Harris administration now is doing. If you live in Tabernacle, where we're giving you the largest and nicest community access to health care there, it's like a small hospital, but it don't have no maternity ward, no dental facility, etc. You have that evidence to confound the election losers. And if you have a good memory, you will recall that in our very first year in office, we removed 17% VAT of food and medical expenses. This 17% VAT was introduced by the election losers in 2010. And it was impeding poor people from the ability to have a nutritious and well-balanced diet. I hear among the fake news that this government do not care about our nurses, nor acknowledge the splendid work that they do. For the record, we do care about our nurses. We do care about our doctors. And we do care about all healthcare workers in the country. That is why today we took someone who has had an excellent record as a nurse in Dolores Stapleton Harris and put her in charge of health administration in the country. There could be no greater signal of appreciation of the value and work of our nurses than what we have done to them. That is why when we are ready to open the Tabernacle Health Center, we will bring home, Senator Phipps just tell me, you probably have it in her budget, that she is bringing home nurse Sylvia Garnett to officially open the health center in recognition of her outstanding service as a healthcare professional, midwife, community nurse, and administrator at our hospital. So we do love our nurses. They say that we have been unfair because we introduce on a pilot basis only at the surgical ward and the intensive care unit a 12-hour shift. I heard Minister Hamilton said that this was unanimously agreed by the people working in those wards. The election losers do not want you to know that 12-hour nursing shifts have become the norm in almost every developed country, including the United States of America and the United Kingdom. St. Kitts and Nevis will never be last in the class in what must be done to ensure a progressive health sector and response system. Indeed, research coming out of the United States finds that most hospitals in the US of A operate on 12-hour nursing shifts because they are easier for the administrators to manage and nurses like them, but most importantly, because it's not just about them, the patient care is more efficiently and beneficially delivered. It is about you. It must be about you. The election losers would say from time to time that we prefer to recruit non-national nurses. But they started it. It's they brought them in. The stark reality, though, is that the recruitment of nurses, in particular from the Philippines, had come about to fill gaps in the health service delivery. And we take the point that when it comes to the treatment and care of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, no boundary shall constrain us. And we will do what is necessary to help you, the poor people. Yes. When Dr. Douglas is sick, he can go on a charter to Taiwan and Dubai. When Nigel Carty was ill, he was facilitated by the government at the cost of over $100,000. You don't have that luxury. And the government, try as we will not be able to send every sick person out on a charter. So what we must do, bring the specialists to the country so they can see the largest number of persons requiring their service. So we will make no apology about that. Finally, let me commend all the healthcare workers who have been going beyond the call of duty, working overtime, fitting in when their peers take extended and unexpected sick leave. I want to say thank you to the EMT workers who are called whenever there is an emergency and who have to go at short notice and perhaps go again after that. I say we certainly do appreciate, and we shall introduce a reward system going forward where every month the best performing nurse, the best performing in the EMT service will get a substantial award from this government going forward. We are trying hard for you, the people, and I hope you appreciate how far we are going and are prepared to go on your behalf. Several of our doctors have come back home when there were opportunities for them abroad. And we say thank you to come to add to the quality of healthcare in our country. Yes. The truth is, all over the world, there is a demand for health professionals. In the USA, they want them bad. In Canada, they want them bad. In the UK, they want them bad. And that is why several of our people are tantalized and incentivized with all the training and scholarships we have given. They found a greener pastures and they don't come back. I want you to give a round of applause to those who have come back and those who plan to come back to give health care to our country. I want to commend Dr. Cameron Wilkerson, our medical chief of staff. He's one of the most brilliant surgeons, I'm told, around the world. But he has come back to service. And equally, I want to commend our chief medical officer, Dr. Hazel Laws, who is here. Her father managed the Estridge estate. So, Viva, you would know Mr. Laws. So you have to treat us nice out here, you know, Dr. Laws, because we will tell your father all that he died. Or could you stand there and could we give the lovely Dr. Hazel Laws a round of applause? Finally, I also want to send out my own personal congratulations to one of our health practitioners, Dr. Myreka Gray, who has made news recently for outstanding leadership at the Memorial Medical Group in Tennessee. Dr. Gray's remarkable career trajectory has made her country proud, and she is one more talent out there we will try to bring home to serve the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. In closing then, I say thank you for coming out this morning. I'm surprised to see some of you. Edith, I didn't expect you, but thank you for coming. And Shirley should have sung on the program, but thank you for coming. Heston and all the others. It's a good thing we opened this, because this is how I now know that Sonia Henry is back from abroad. So I want to thank all of you, though. Vixie, all of my supporters who are here. Shirley, all of you. And please remember you are special to me. Even when I am sleeping, I am thinking about you. Even when I am sleeping, I am thinking about you. Without you, there will be no me. And I promise always to give the best of every working moment to the people of my constituency and the people of this country that I love so much and who have given me so much of their trust. I said on the campaign trail, I want each boy and girl growing up in St. Kitts and Nevis to be able to say proudly and with passion, of all the lands, be they east or west, I love. That's what John Lewis must say at 72. I love my land, St. Kitts and Nevis the best. May God bless us all. Thank you. To God be the glory.
Stay up to date with news, programs, and activities of the government with SKNIS. Like us on Facebook. Listen to us on SoundCloud. Follow us on Twitter. And watch our videos on YouTube. Connect with us today. SKNIS, St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service.